Most people have been told for years that heartburn comes from having too much acid. That's the story we've been sold, and that's why antacids like TUMS seem like the obvious answer. But here's the truth that almost no one talks about. Most cases of heartburn are actually caused by not having enough stomach acid. Think about it. When your stomach doesn't have the right level of acidity, food just sits there, fermenting, creating gas and pressure. That pressure forces acid up into your esophagus, and you feel the burn. It's not an overload of acid, it's a lack of it. And once you see it from that perspective, everything changes. So when that burning pain shows up, most people reach for TUMS because it seems to work instantly. You chew it, and within minutes the fire feels like it's gone. And yes, it does bring relief, but here's the catch: it's not fixing anything. All it's doing is neutralizing the little bit of acid you do have, giving you a short window of comfort. It's like putting out the smoke alarm without actually putting out the fire. The real problem is still there, hiding underneath, waiting to come back the next time you eat. And here's where the real danger comes in. When you keep lowering acid with TUMS, you're actually making the root problem worse. Your stomach was already struggling with low acid, and now you've taken away even more of it. Over time, this weakens your digestion so much that important nutrients like B12, calcium, and magnesium don't get absorbed the way they should. That means weaker bones, lower energy, and even issues with your nervous system. So while you may think you're helping your body by stopping the burn, what you're really doing is setting yourself up for a cycle of poor digestion and deeper health problems down the road. Now this is where apple cider vinegar changes the entire picture. Instead of blocking acid, it actually gives your stomach the support it's been missing. That natural acidity helps restore the environment your body needs to properly break down food. The moment you take it, you're not just calming a symptom, you're helping your digestive system function the way it was designed. It's like flipping the switch back on so your stomach can finally do its job. And unlike neutralizing tablets which work against your system, apple cider vinegar works with your body to create balance and strength from the inside out. When your stomach acid is strong and balanced with the help of apple cider vinegar, something powerful happens. You actually start breaking down proteins the way you're supposed to. That means your body can finally pull out those essential amino acids that repair tissues, build muscle, and support brain health. On top of that, minerals like calcium, magnesium, iron, and B12 become far more absorbable. Without proper acid, they just pass through your system unused, leaving you deficient even if your diet is good. But with ACV, you're not just reducing heartburn. You're fueling every cell in your body with the raw materials it needs to thrive. That's why relying on TUMS is like putting a thin bandage over a deep wound. It may cover it for a moment, but it never addresses what's really happening underneath. You chew one tablet, the burn fades, and for a few hours you think the problem is solved. But as soon as you eat again, it comes right back, sometimes even stronger. It becomes a cycle. You reach for another tablet, then another, until your body is dependent on that quick fix. And all the while, your digestion is getting weaker, your acid is getting lower, and the original problem is quietly growing in the background. When you begin to see how apple cider vinegar works inside your body, you realize it's not just about calming a little heartburn, it's about restoring the foundation of your digestive health. Every time you take it, you're sending a signal to your stomach: wake up, do your job, get strong again. And when your stomach listens, the ripple effect touches everything else. Your digestion isn't weak anymore. It's efficient, powerful, and resilient. That strength makes all the difference between a body that struggles after every meal and a body that uses food as fuel to thrive. Here's what makes it so powerful. Apple cider vinegar strengthens your digestion instead of weakening it. TUMS dulls your system, ACV trains it. Think about that difference for a second. Imagine two paths. One path is comfort for the moment, but fragility for the long term. The other path might taste sharp, a little uncomfortable at first, but it builds resilience inside you, meal after meal. One is dependence, the other is empowerment. That's the difference between living on bandages and actually healing. When your digestion gets stronger, you don't just feel relief from heartburn. You start to notice you feel lighter after meals. You don't get that heavy bloated feeling. Your energy doesn't crash hours after eating. Why? Because your body is finally pulling nutrients out of your food instead of letting them slip away unused. Every mineral, every amino acid, every trace nutrient your cells depend on is now actually available. That's what a strong stomach does. It turns food into energy, not discomfort. Most people don't realize that poor digestion is like a slow leak in the system. You might not connect your fatigue, your brittle nails, your thinning hair, or even your low mood to the acid levels in your stomach. But the truth is, when digestion weakens, your whole body pays the price. Apple cider vinegar is one of the simplest tools to reverse that weakness. It doesn't add something artificial, it restores what was missing all along, and when that switch flips, your body wakes up. Now, let's go deeper. When you take TUMS, you're teaching your stomach to stay passive. You're telling it, don't produce acid, I'll handle this problem for you by neutralizing what little you made. Over time, your stomach gets lazy. It says, why bother producing acid at all if you're just going to shut it down? But when you take ACV, it's the opposite. You're not replacing your stomach, you're challenging it, you're reminding it, this is what strong acidity feels like, and the body responds. Slowly, consistently, it relearns how to function the way it was designed. This is why ACV isn't just a remedy, it's a training tool. You're retraining your digestive system to become independent again, and when your system is independent, you don't need constant fixes, constant tablets, constant hacks. You simply eat, digest, and absorb naturally, the way your body was built to do. And here's something fascinating. When your stomach is strong, it sends the right signals down the digestive chain. Your pancreas releases enzymes properly, your gallbladder squeezes out bile effectively, your intestines receive food in the right state to extract nutrients. But when your stomach acid is weak, the whole chain breaks down, proteins arrive half digested, fats don't emulsify, the gut gets irritated. That irritation can spiral into bloating, gas, even food sensitivities. All of it starts with the stomach. And apple cider vinegar strengthens that very first step, the gatekeeper of digestion. So ask yourself, do you want a digestive system that gets weaker every time you soothe it with a tablet, or one that gets stronger every time you support it with a natural solution? One path ends in dependency, the other ends in freedom. And freedom is what everyone really wants: freedom to enjoy food without fear, freedom to have energy after meals instead of fatigue, freedom to live without a pocket full of antacids. Now, strengthening digestion with ACV isn't just about what happens in the stomach, it's about the bigger picture. Strong digestion means your immune system is stronger because most of your immune function starts in the gut. Strong digestion means your hormones are balanced because your body is actually getting the building blocks it needs to create them. Strong digestion means your mood improves because nutrients like magnesium, zinc, and B vitamins fuel your brain chemistry. So when you take apple cider vinegar, you're not just calming reflux, you're building a body that works better on every level. And the beauty of it is simplicity. You don't need a prescription, you don't need a high-tech device, you don't need a complicated protocol. A small amount of apple cider vinegar in water before a meal can begin to reset your digestion. It's simple, but don't confuse simple with weak. Sometimes the most powerful solutions are the ones that work with your body's design, not against it. Let me ask you, what kind of life do you want? A life where you're chasing after quick relief every time a symptom flares up? Or a life where you've rebuilt your system so the symptom barely shows up in the first place? Because that's the choice in front of you every time you decide between TUMS and SEV. TUMS gives you minutes of comfort. Apple cider vinegar gives you strength that builds over time. One fades away as soon as the tablet dissolves. The other leaves lasting change in how your body works. Picture yourself 6 months from now. If you choose the quick fix every time, you might still be popping tablets after every meal, dealing with the same discomfort, maybe even worse, because your digestion has grown weaker. But if you choose to support your stomach with apple cider vinegar, you might not even think about heartburn anymore. You'll eat, digest, absorb, and move on with your day because your body has relearned how to take care of itself. That's the difference between patching the symptom and solving the problem. And here's something most people overlook. A strong stomach acid barrier also protects you from harmful microbes. Your stomach acid is your first line of defense against bacteria, parasites, and pathogens that ride in with your food. When you neutralize that acid with TUMS, you weaken the barrier. When you support it with ACV, you strengthen it. So the question isn't just about heartburn, it's about whether you want a strong shield or a weak one. Think about how much energy you lose when your digestion struggles, the fatigue, the brain fog, the restless sleep because of reflux at night. All of that is energy stolen by weak digestion, but when your stomach is strong, that energy is given back to you. You wake up clearer, you move with more vitality, you think sharper, because you're not fighting your own food, you're using it. That's what strength from within looks like, so let's put it plainly. Apple cider vinegar strengthens your digestion instead of weakening it. It builds capacity instead of dependency, it empowers your body instead of silencing it. Every sip is like casting a vote, for health, for strength, for resilience. Every tablet of TUMS is a vote for convenience, but also for weakness, for fragility, for postponing the inevitable. And your life is built on the votes you cast every day. Now, I know the question that comes up. But what if ACV doesn't give me instant relief like TUMS does? That's the key. It's not supposed to be instant. It's supposed to be lasting. Healing doesn't always happen in seconds. Sometimes healing is a process, one meal at a time, one day at a time, but here's the truth. If you stay consistent, the body rewards you. It learns, it adapts, it strengthens. And before long, you don't need that instant relief anymore because the problem itself has faded. That's the power of strengthening instead of weakening, and that's why so many people who switch to apple cider vinegar say it feels like turning a corner. They stop living in reaction to their symptoms and start living in confidence that their body can handle food again. That confidence is priceless. It's not just about comfort, it's about freedom. Freedom to eat without fear. Freedom to trust your body. Freedom to know that you've chosen the path that makes you stronger every single time. And here's something most people don't realize. When you rely on antacids over and over again, your body begins to depend on them. At first, it feels harmless. You keep a roll of tablets in your car, another in your bag, maybe one on the nightstand. You tell yourself it's just for emergencies, but gradually it becomes routine. Every meal, every snack, every flare-up, you reach for that chalky relief. And what's happening behind the scenes? Your stomach stops trying. It becomes weaker, more passive, because it knows you're going to step in and neutralize what little acid it made. That's the trap. Antacids give you relief in the short term, but slowly build a dependency that locks you into the cycle. And the more you depend on them, the less capable your body becomes of handling digestion on its own. It's like keeping your muscles in a cast. You might feel protected at first, but the longer they're immobilized, the weaker they get. Before long, even a small meal feels like a challenge because your system has forgotten how to digest without that artificial crutch. And it doesn't stop there. Over time, lowering stomach acid again and again opens the door to bigger problems. Food isn't broken down properly, so it sits and ferments. Gas builds, bloating increases, reflux becomes more frequent. You take more antacids to quiet it down, but the cycle grows stronger, not weaker. That dependency starts to shape your life, what you eat, how you sleep, even whether you look forward to meals or dread them. But here's the truth, you don't have to live in that cycle. Your body is designed to be independent, not dependent. It knows how to digest, how to protect itself, how to heal, if you give it the right support. Antacids take that independence away. Apple cider vinegar gives it back. One weakens your stomach's natural function, the other trains it to get stronger. And that's the choice you face every single day: dependency or empowerment. And here's what's fascinating. Most people think heartburn is about too much acid spilling upward, but what actually drives it is the pressure in your stomach. When food isn't digested well because acid is too low, it ferments, creating gas and bloating. That extra pressure has nowhere to go but up, forcing acid into the esophagus where it burns. Now, when you take TUMS, you're not addressing that pressure, you're just neutralizing acid at the surface. The pressure is still there, building, waiting for the next trigger, but when you use apple cider vinegar, you're tackling the cause. By restoring acidity, you help food break down properly, which means less fermentation, less gas, less bloating. The pressure that drives acid upward disappears, and the reflux calms naturally. It's not about shutting the system down, it's about making it work the way it should. And when the pressure is gone, the acid stays where it belongs in the stomach, doing its job. This is why so many people are shocked when ACV works for them. They expect more burn, but instead they feel relief, because what really caused the problem wasn't too much acid, it was too little. Apple cider vinegar flips that equation back in your favor, and suddenly the symptom that's been haunting you loses its power. True healing isn't about silencing your body, it's about listening to it. Every time you feel heartburn, your body is sending you a message. It's not saying, "Shut me down," it's saying, "Help me work the way I'm supposed to." When you take TUMS, you're telling your body to be quiet, to stop complaining, to mask the message. But when you use apple cider vinegar, you're responding to that message. You're saying, "I hear you. I know you need more strength, more acidity, more support." And the body responds by doing what it was designed to do: heal, restore, function at its best. This is the real difference. One choice keeps you chasing symptoms. The other choice builds a foundation where symptoms fade on their own. One path is temporary silence. The other is lasting strength. And when you give your body what it truly needs, you don't just fix heartburn. You improve your digestion, your energy, your immunity, even your clarity of mind. Because everything in your health starts with how well you can break down and absorb what you eat. So the question is never just, which works better for heartburn? The real question is, which one helps my body become stronger over time? And the answer couldn't be clearer. True healing comes from working with your body, not against it. Apple cider vinegar doesn't just quiet the burn, it empowers you to reclaim your health from the inside out. So when you step back and look at the bigger picture, it's not just about choosing between apple cider vinegar and TUMS. It's about choosing between temporary comfort and lasting transformation. One path gives you a few hours of silence while your body grows weaker. The other builds resilience that carries you for a lifetime. Heartburn isn't your enemy, it's a signal, and the way you respond determines whether you keep living in a cycle of dependency or finally break free by supporting your body the way nature intended. The real victory isn't in numbing the burn, it's in rebuilding the fire of digestion so strong that the burn never controls you again. And that's the choice in your hands every single day.